Okay, so what we're going to do first is create a folder for our project. So I'm going to go ahead and right mouse click and say new and folder. This folder is going to be week 5, even if it may not be the 5th week that we're working on this. And then inside the week 5 folder, I'm going to create another new folder, and that is going to be our tennis folder, and that's going to be our project folder. Okay, then inside our project folder, we're going to create another folder. And you can see we're going to be doing this same thing for every website we create. And then we're going to have an image. Oops, sorry about that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call this images. And then I'm going to create 2 text files. And let me go ahead and okay, so the first, I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to say new, and then I'm going to come down here to text document. And what I'm going to do is get rid of this and then type in tennis template.html. And notice all lowercase, no spaces. I could have put an underscore in there if I wanted to go ahead and separate it. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. So I'll do shift and then dash, and that allows us to be able to read tennis template a little bit better. Then I'll press enter. It'll say, you know what you're doing? And I'll say, yes, I do. And then I'll go ahead and create my second text document. So I'll do new, and then text document. And same thing here, except this one's going to be tennis.css. That's our CSS page. But before I go ahead and create the actual file name, I'm going to copy that file name because it has to be exact when I use it in my tennis template.html. So if I copy this by selecting it and doing Control C, now I have it in my clipboard, and I'll press enter. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Alright, so now we're ready to go ahead and place this in Sublime Text. So I'll go back up to week 5 where I can see my tennis project folder. I already have Sublime Text open, so I'm simply going to drag the tennis file folder into where it says open files, and now I have my project inside Sublime Text, and we're ready to start using our HTML. So I'll go ahead and double click on that. Right, we have nothing in that file yet, we just created it. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is start creating our HTML, and Sublime Text has an autocomplete that allows us to do this fairly quickly. So I'm going to do HTML and HTML, and then hit tab. And what that's going to do is going to autocomplete and put in all the HTML we need. So this is the basic HTML structure, but we want to add some things first. And one of them is in the HTML tag itself. There is an attribute called language, and we're going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to say EN. So this way browsers are going to know that what is the root language that we're using, which is going to be English. Alright, next thing we want to do is tell them what character set we're using when we're doing this. So we're going to just type meta and then hit tab, and that's going to put in everything we need and let them know we're using Unicode 8. Alright, and then then we're going to have a title, and for the title we're going to put in generic type title and then change that for each page. I'm just going to put Trident Tennis Center. Alright, and now we have a couple more things to put into this head section. One is we want to let the browser know that when you're opening it up in a phone browser that we don't want it to shrink it. We want to just show it the way it is natively. So we're going to have to actually use the less than symbol and then meta, so it doesn't automatically put in the character set. And then we're going to give it 2 attributes. The first one is the name, and the name is going to be viewport. And then the second attribute is going to be content. And the content we're going to say is that the width is going to be equal to device dash width. All right, so letting it know not to shrink the page down, just show it the way we develop it. And we're going to then develop it in a way so that it looks good on a phone. The second meta tag that we're going to use is our description one. So again, we're going to have to use less than symbol, meta, name. This name is going to be description. And then the content is going to be the Trident Tennis Center is your one-stop shop for all that is tennis in Charleston. Okay, we do this for search engines. They're going to use whatever we type into our content for our description in the return on the search engine page. So we're going to want to also put our keywords in there so that we get a nice page score. All right, we have one last thing to put into our head, and that is we have to link the, so we're going to type in link, and then tab, the style sheet to the HTML. So I already have in clipboard the name because I copied it. So I'll do Control V and then paste it in. I highly recommend you do that because if you get this wrong and misspell tennis, then your styles aren't going to work and it's going to be a pain in the neck. All right, looks like we're ready to go ahead and do something into the main section. So we have the body, and then we're going to have a container that's going to hold all our other containers. And this is going to be called main. All right, so that main container is going to hold all our other HTML tags. The first container we're going to put in there is our header container. So we're going to type header and then tab. And then inside the header, we're just going to have an H1. So we're going to say H1. That's going to give us large bold text. And we're going to put in there Trident Tennis Academy. All right, and we're done with our first tag. All right, so at the end of header here, we want to put in our next tag, keeping everything inside main. And this is going to be our navigation section. So built into, part of the HTML5 standard is that we have a container for our navigation. It's called nav, and we press tab. That's a block level element. Inside there, we're going to put another block level element, and that's going to be the unordered list. So we'll type UL and then tab, and then press enter. And then inside our unordered list, we're going to have list items. Again, those are also block level elements, and that's going to be LI, and then we're going to hit tab. And then inside that list item, I'm going to have an anchor tag. That's going to be our navigation. So I'm going to type A and then tab. It's going to say what is the name of the file that this is going to. And this first one's going to be our home page, so we're going to call it index.html. And then we're going to move outside that tag and then type in the text that we want to show on the page, and that's going to be home. All right, and that has to go before the close anchor tag. All right, we're done with that first tag. Let's go ahead and put in 3 more. I'm going to type LI and then tab, and then A, and then tab. Okay, the next one that we're going to put in is our programs page. So I'm going to type in programs.html. And then I'm going to go outside that tag and then type in capital P, programs. Okay, all file names are all lowercase, no spaces. All right, and then that's the second link. And then we'll have another link. Whoops. LI, tab, A, tab. Okay, this next one is going to be membership. So I'm going to call it membership.html. And then I'm going to go outside that tag and type in capital M, membership. Okay, and then our last one So it's going to be a 4-page website. LI, tab A, tab, and then this is going to be our mission statement. MI, so mission.html, or lowercase, no spaces. And then mission is going to be the text that we're going to use for that hyperlink. Okay, excellent. Okay, that ends our navigation section. We're doing on time, we're up to 10 minutes. All right, well, that's all we're going to do for this video because we're already 10 minutes in. I try to limit them to no more than 10 minutes, so this is a little bit over. I'm not even going to bother showing you what it's looked like up to this. We're going to go ahead in the next video complete more of this page.